All right, we talk about the timeline point of view about marriage, and I don't want to go too philosophical about this, but I need to give you the definition in text terms. So what is considered the married? Because come on, we are talking about the married filing a joint return, right? So we need to know what is considered married. Okay? So married, for example, both of spouse, they can be legally married, right? Legally, remember? Legally married, and they can live together, right? So that's the scenario one. So they are legally married and cohabitating. So basically they live together under the same roof, right? They're cohabitating. Scenario one. Also, they're qualified for this married filing a joint return. Okay? Legally married and cohabitating. Legally married and they live together. Okay? And of course, there are some scenarios of, they're legally married. A little house there, right? Legally married. But here's the thing. They're living apart. Okay? They're not cohabitating. They're living apart. But you know what? Living apart does not mean they are separated. Okay? So they're not legally separated by some law decree, say, hey, divorce or separated, right? It's not a divorce decree that resulted in their separation, right? They just say, well, they're legally married, but you know what? Maybe some fights, some arguments, and then they just live apart, okay? But not yet separated by this divorce decree. Okay? That's scenario two. Are this couple still married? Are they qualified to file this married and filing a joint return? If they want to marry, they want to file, okay? Because that's still like a big, big but. They have to agree, right? In order to do that, because this is like a thing that they need both to sign. Okay, we will talk about that in the tax return form. They need to sign this because they need to agree, need to sign. Okay, so if they both agree to sign this, are they considered married? Okay, let me do that again. They're legally married. Okay, they're not living together. They're living apart, but not yet separated. Can they do that? As long as both spouses agree to find a joint return, you know what? Scenario two also is okay, right? They can find a joint return as long they can through mutual friends and they sign on same form, right? Some way or another. As long as they're happy, okay, they can do that legally. What about this? What about, just imagine, right? They're living apart and then they realize, well, this not working out, right? So, yeah, they file for divorce, okay? And, let me just draw this cute little person here, right? Alright. So, they are separated, okay? And of course, they're separated, they can still live together, or maybe they live for a few days and then separated. There's in reality, there are tons of scenarios, okay? But we just go to the main point here. So they are separated, okay? And they are separated. It's not like that, just like oral saying that we were separated, right? It's not like talking, but they are separated under the divorce decree. They're separated under the divorce decree, and they're separated. But here's the thing: as long as it's not final, you know what? They can still file a marriage, filing a joint return. Okay, so you know what? They still can do that as long as that separate and under the divorce decree is not final yet. Okay, and remember our timeline at the last day of the tax year. Okay, for most people, it's December the 31st. Okay, as long as that decision is not final, okay, not final, they still can do that. Okay, they still can file a marriage, filing a joint return. Okay, what about some scenarios when let me just erase it. Yeah, we got some space here, so let me quickly draw the scenario 4. Okay, so for example, let me just draw a drastic okay globe, and so for example, this is America, right? This is like Japan and India, something like that. Okay, so for example, one person is there, right? The other person is there. All right, so what about this? They can be one of the spouse is American, right? The other spouse is Indian, okay? And you know what? For that spouse is non-resident alien, okay? Non-resident alien. And you know what? They were married, right? But one of the spouses is non-resident alien. And here's the thing: both of them have to select to do the tax return and elect the worldwide income. Okay? So basically, even though one of the spouses is non-resident alien, if they decided to come together to file as married and filing a joint return, they're going to select the worldwide income to be taxed. Okay? Because you know what? If you think about the married filing joint return, it's kind of a good thing because it gives you a lot of credits, right? They can pull this income together, right? And give you a higher threshold, give you more credits, more deduction. It's kind of a good thing, okay? But in order to enjoy that good thing, so you have to, be treated like American, right? So basically, even though one of the couple is non-resident alien, if they choose to file together with American together as a married filing joint return, they're going to be elected worldwide income for that. Because you know what? IRS is going to, tax you for your worldwide income, okay? So yeah, that's the thing. That's a very special thing that you need to pay special attention to, because this is a very special scenario.